I am Kim Tracy with the Maxwell James Speaker Agency here with Dr. T.C. North. We are going to be continuing our series of Mastering Your Fear. Could you please remind us of the big four?
I'll be happy to. Big four are the fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, and fear of selling. And fear of selling includes product services and oneself and one's ideas.
Perfect. And could you remind the audience who didn't see the first segment, what was the first fear very briefly?
Yeah, so if it's okay, I'll give the whole six-step process here
Sure.
really quickly because, in this series we're going to do the 6 steps. The first step is to identify fear. And the second step is what we're going to do today, which is to embrace your fear. And we spent 2 sessions on identify your fear because most people don't identify all the fears they have. So I wanted to give some good tools because we talk about stress and frustration and all these different emotions that actually have a fear base, but we don't identify them as fears. And when we can identify the fear, then we can actually learn to master the fear, and then those feelings of frustration and stress and overwhelm go away. But you can't deal with them directly. You have to deal with what's underneath them. That's why we spent so much time there.
Okay, got it.
Ready to do embrace?
I'm ready to do embrace.
All right. So Kim, embrace your fear. A lot of people want to run from their fears. They want to hide from their fears. But the reason to embrace the fear is think of this, is that if I'm afraid to look at my fear, if I'm afraid to embrace my fear, I've actually added fear to my fear.
Mm-hmm.
What an ugly cycle that becomes. So I'm feeding fear with fear. So now my original fear just got bigger because I'm afraid to even look at it. So it's a real important step just to be able to, one is to identify them. And then the second one is to embrace the fear. And in workshops, longer workshops, what I often have people do is, take crayons or pencils and I'll have them draw a picture of their fear or label their fear or give their fear a voice. I remember one person, said the voice was their grandmother. And, when I was in Costa Rica a couple years ago, I worked with all the leaders of the Central American Western Union office. And when we did this step, we had people draw out their fears. And this is a picture that was drawn by one of the participants. And so I thought I'd share this picture with everybody. And if you remember the show Lost, the smoke monster on Lost.
Right.
This is the smoke monster on Lost. And that's what he said when he pictured his own fears, the fears that he was working with in the workshop, that's what he saw.
Wow.
So now he's got a picture. He can kind of put, you can put your hands around it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've got that, then you can do something with it. These first 2 steps are you need to really embrace, you need to identify and embrace, so then you can begin to master. Does that make all sense? Does this make sense?
It does.
Okay, good. So, that's it on step 2 is it's real important to embrace the fear, not run from it, because you actually are feeding fear with fear when you run from it. So just stop, pause, identify, and embrace.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and I look forward to doing step 3 with you.
Me too, Kim.